NFL draft. We're going to talk a little bit, get Sam's thoughts on some of the things that we covered yesterday. The draft does take place in Green Bay on April 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's less than 2 weeks away now, 2 weeks from yesterday. So, Sam, who do you think your number one is?
And I will be in attendance all day Thursday for the entire festivities.
Get
Same with
pictures.
Friday. I'll be there for the first 2 days.
Get some
From
pictures.
noon till close. We are
Get
there.
interviews, get flicks.
Get some content.
I'll try and do my best. But I think the number one pick, it's probably going to be Abdul Carter. I mean, it's just when you come into a draft like that, especially being the Titans with the number one overall pick, you just take the best player. You take the best player that's available, and Abdul Carter, regardless of the injuries, is 100% the best player. 24 tackles for loss last year for Abdul Carter. On a Penn State team that wasn't great, he was arguably the lone bright spot outside of Tyler Warren.
Got rocked in the playoffs.
68 combined tackles. They were in the playoff, weren't they?
Yeah, they got rocked.
I don't know what's going wrong with me. They got rocked in the playoff, but Abdul Carter, the main bright spot on that team, right? 12 sacks last year. If I'm Tennessee, I'm taking Abdul Carter number one overall.
They have a nice tight end too, don't
Did
they?
he get injured? Am I tripping?
Abdul Carter was injured, yes.
Yeah.
He had a surgery,
He's
right?
dealt with some injuries in his past. He played 16 games last year.
No. I mean, like after the season, he had a surgery, didn't he? He had like a foot surgery, something like that.
Yes, he was playing injured for much of the season. But
pushing back a little bit.
I'm taking him at first overall because there's no real merit to saying he's going to be missing the first 4 weeks as of right now. Like there's no one out there suggesting that he's missing the first 4 weeks or he's going to miss the preseason or he's going to miss OTAs or anything like that. Rookie camp even. There's no indication that he's going to be missing that time.
So do you think it's going to be a miss if they don't take him?
I think it's going to be a huge miss if they don't take him.
Really?
I think he goes next pick. And you can't really go wrong with taking Travis Hunter either.
That's what I mean.
I think
that's what they might do, in my opinion.
I think Travis should be a Titan because their defense is already on the rise. And adding Travis, adding Abdul Carter would as well, but Travis can play both ways, and you already have a bridge quarterback, in my opinion. I don't think he's that bad, Mr. Mayo. But I think they could develop him a little bit. And the defense is already pretty good. Weren't they ranked like in the middle of the pack last year? Like even as a bottom tier team, like I think their team is like pretty set defensively if they get Travis Hunter. And then all they gotta do is build in their offense, which you get in Travis Hunter as well. But if you let Travis Hunter get to the Browns, that's a big mistake, in my opinion. As we were talking about that yesterday, Jalen.
They already got a decent defense too. The Browns do.
The year before last,
they were number one
playoffs. They were number one defense in the league.
And then CJ Stroud
Joe Flacco.
Yeah,
they just brought back Joe Flacco to try and run that back.
I'm trying to tell you, man, it's different, man. I don't know. I think Travis Hunter should be one, but I don't disagree with you on that.
Travis Hunter is outright the player with the highest ceiling. He's the best athletic option. When you have a chance to pick up a game changer like that, that's not a quarterback, you do it. Because and I've already said this yesterday. I think this is a weak quarterback class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
I would agree.
What we were talking about yesterday. We were saying that Shedeur slides to 9. Wow,
he's on a lot of 20s.
Mel Kiper had him at 9.
20
it kind of makes sense. It makes a little bit of sense for him to fall that far down. Just think about it this way: the Titans, they were roughly middle of the pack. They're in terms of defense. Their highlight was run defense. They need better pass rushing and better secondary. You have two great options to choose from right then and there, and they're arguably the two best players in this draft in Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter. I just think Abdul Carter is the right way to go. At pick 2, the Browns, they can't move on from Deshaun Watson quite yet. They just can't. As much as they may want to, they just can't. So whoever doesn't get taken between those two is going at 2. Giants are going quarterback in my eyes. I think it's Cam Ward. The Patriots don't need quarterback. The Jags don't need quarterback. The Raiders don't need quarterback. At the moment, they don't need quarterback. They just extended Geno Smith. The Jets do they really need a quarterback? They brought in Justin Fields. Do they need competition with Justin Fields? That's their question they got to ask themselves. That right now, I think they're going to go offensive line just to bolster the front that's in front of Justin Fields. Cowboys don't need quarterback. The Saints do. So 8 teams in front of the Saints, and only one of them truly, truly needs a quarterback. You can make the case for Tennessee, but only one of those teams truly needs a quarterback, and it's the Giants. Give me the Saints with Shedeur Sanders, or the Saints, honestly, if they don't have faith in Shedeur Sanders that early, which I've started to see the light when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. I think he's going to be a talented quarterback in the NFL. If they don't see the light with him, trade back. Jackson Dart is this year's Bo Nix.
Dude, he's so good.
He's this year's Bo Nix.
He is good.
He is. I saw games of him from Ole Miss the past couple of years, and I had my thoughts. I had my thoughts about Jackson Dart, especially in the college circuit. But after his pro day, after his combine, he might be the real deal.
I don't know
and
if
they're very similar play styles.
I don't know if you trade back for him though. That would be a reach.
It depends on how far you want to trade back to get him. Because like we said, this isn't a very quarterback heavy class. The only other team that I could see going quarterback first round is Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
I could see Pittsburgh doing it. Seattle could as well. Seattle could, even though they have Sam Darnold. How much faith do they really have in Sam Darnold? But Pittsburgh is the next team that needs quarterback.
What if Pittsburgh trades up to get Shedeur?
Then, if they are they trading up with the Saints, or are they trading up?
Not with the Saints. They would have to pick up a one of those teams beforehand who may not see like what they have available.
One of the 8. If they trade up to do that, I mean, you still really don't have any teams that want to take quarterback in the first round. Though, I mean,
Cardinals might.
They might, but I mean, Kyler Murray's still kind of young. He's still nimble. He just gets hurt a lot.
Okay.
That's the only thing.
Kyler Murray's still good.
He is still good.
Don't get it twisted. I love Kyler Murray. I love the Cardinals in general, but Kyler Murray has not proven anything, and I've tried to back him up. But them taking a quarterback would not be crazy. I would not.
How many seasons has he had where he's been fully healthy though?
Exactly, and when he's healthy, I mean, he made it to.
He's been fine. He hasn't had a defense that could support him. He's starting to put together a young offense. I think that he's still got time. I'm not saying that he's a top 10 quarterback or anything, but I think that
he's
be a top 5 in
27.
The North.
He could this year. Let's see what he does with this offense.
He's going to turn 28 just before the season starts. He is still young. The interception numbers have come down since the beginning of his career. The touchdown numbers have stagnated a little bit, especially through the air. And he only has...
Wait, hold on.
What?
South Carolina guard Malaysia Wiley intends to enter the transfer portal.
Ooh.
Wow.
What school is he?
She's a bucket, dude.
That's
She's
South
one of the most
Carolina's
athletic
guard.
players.
Remember when we was talking about that one that looked
South
like
Carolina?
Kyrie?
Oh,
Wiley. Yep.
Where's she going?
It just dropped that she was just entering the transfer portal.
Why? She's a bucket.
I guess. Remember when I said in my final thoughts? I think it was that Tuesday that Don had got the D1 scoring leader to transfer in. The D1 scoring leader to transfer in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude,
that's
she's
like very interesting.
She's actually like intimidating to play against. It looks like she's terrifying. Her handles are insane. She can score. I don't think she's a great floor general, but dude, scoring anywhere on the court.
She's like Kyrie.
She's literally she plays exactly like Kyrie, like a woman Kyrie. It's kind of crazy, but congrats to her. Good for her.
Speaking of the transfer portal too, Robert Wright transferring to BYU. BYU is going to be scary.
They're going to stack. Oh man,
they're going to be gross. Yes. Absolutely gross. Big 12, all Big 12 honorable mention this year. He was an all freshman in the Big 12, averaging like 12, 13 points a game, 41% shooting, 35 from 3. Double figures 22 times this year. He put 24 on Kansas when they were the number 11 team in the country at the time, and Baylor was unranked. He got them a tournament win this year. Obviously, they had a tough draw second round against Duke, but BYU is going to be nasty. In the age of NIL, BYU, I mean, they've got donors. They've got money. Like it's not even fair what BYU's got out there in Provo. They're going to be nuts for the next like half decade with how much NIL they can afford to give out and now AJ Debonsa coming in next year too, the number 1 recruit in the entire basketball class.
He is nasty.
You got
BYU is going to be
players
so gross.
to have players of this caliber of good entering the transfer portals.
And their coach is good too.
It's like, I think we're pretty much watching free agency in college.
I love it.
Because I don't like how they are able to enter the transfer portal the minute it opens and they could be in the tournament. Like, I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely
Well,
hate that.
that's the
I
other
feel
thing.
like basketball should, if your team is in the tournament, you have to wait until you are done in order to enter.
That's wild.
These kids are going to get paid too. They're going to get a lot of money.
Hey Sam, who do you want the Packers to draft?
So I'm still leaning wide receiver. I have been leaning wide receiver for quite a while.
Drew made a face.
There's going to be guys that should be available down that low. The guy I'm primarily thinking about is Luther Burden. I think Luther Burden will fall because I think Ted McMillan is going to be the first wide receiver taken off the board. And there's not many spots that teams are looking for wide receiver. This is a fairly defense-heavy draft, and there's a pretty good offensive line draft. This is a pretty good offensive line draft class is what I was trying to say. But Ted McMillan and Matthew Golden are both going to be gone. So a guy like Luther Burden, might it be a stretch in the first round? You can make the case. But he's arguably one of the top 3 receivers in this draft. The Packers could still use wide receivers. I mean, I really don't think any of the guys in the current wide receiver room for the Packers are bona fide wide receiver ones just yet. You need another guy. Christian Watson, I've wanted him gone for a while now. Nothing against Christian Watson. He can't stay on the field. He just simply can't. You have to cut your losses somewhere. It's nothing against Watson. I think he's a very talented football player. It's just he cannot stay healthy, and that's a detriment to that wide receiver room. The wide receiver room has prided itself on depth over the last few seasons. Christian Watson was supposed to be originally the guy in the wide receiver room. It looked like it was going to be Jaden Reed earlier this year. Then Jaden Reed forgot how to catch the football for a little bit, and his production slowly but surely fell off throughout the season. You need a guy with size, and you need a guy with speed at that wide receiver position. That's what Christian Watson had. He keeps getting hurt. Now you need to find it again, and I think that's the route they're going to go in the first round. If they don't, they're finding the Jair replacement. It's one of those 2 routes. They're either getting their number 1 receiver or they're going to find the Jair replacement.
Sam, I think you just got to remember that this is the Packers, and neither of those things are going to happen.
They will end up drafting another quarterback this year. What's
going
to happen?
What?
Here's what we talked about. Here's what we talked about yesterday. So I think I had mentioned Ted McMillan as an option. If he's still there, go for it. I don't think that there's any other wide receivers that are worth taking at that pick. So I think the biggest thing for the Packers is to pick up. And they're not going to go offensive line. They've kind of shown through free agency that they've got what they need there. I think that they're going to go either pass rusher to try and help out with that pass rush, or like you said, find that Jair replacement. I don't think that I think it's going to be a pass rusher by the end of it.
Yeah, Kenneth Grant, there's a chance that Kenneth Grant is still hanging around down that low at 23. But outside of that, I mean, you'd have to try and maybe reach on Jahad Campbell from Alabama, Walter Nolan from Mississippi. I mean, there's a few guys down there, but are they truly first-round talents, or could you possibly trade out of the first and get back into the second? Now, they will not do that because it is in Green Bay this year. They will not be trading their first-round pick, especially on night 1.
No chance. Mark Murphy needs to announce that pick.
Yeah,
exactly.
Way.
It's his last pick. Or his last first-rounder, really. But does it make logical sense for them to trade out of the first round?
Hey, speaking of Mark Murphy, he came on to one of our shows today at 620 WTMJ, and he was talking about how, as his last season, it's going to be like bittersweet to, finally get a draft in Green Bay. And that just kind of proves that, you're not trading your first round pick.
No. So you might not trade any picks. You might trade up, if anything.
I think they kind of got an idea of who they're going to get because one of our show hosts asked them that. But obviously he's not going to tell us who. But, it was pretty cool to have him on today. He was Pretty nice guy. Kind of awkward, but pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the Bears to draft a running back. But
Running back.
gonna
Which
be
running back?
Ashton Genty.
No, dude. I
He
want
might
I
be
want to
there.
trade up to get either Michael Williams, the edge from Georgia, or I want the guy from Penn State, the tight end. What's his name?
Warren.
Warren.
He's nice.
With that, it's gonna be in Green Bay. This is some final looks of it as well. We'll be showing this throughout the week. This is what Titletown looks like, turned into Draft Town now. You got all the, you got the stage to the left, and you got all the ambiance and all the tents up. This is the stage right here. That's what the stage would look like when Roger Goodell comes out. And then, that's the seating area, and that's where everybody will be watching the draft.